Hello, people. Welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast. This is Emmanuel.
I'm Femi.
I'm Chimga's Dream.
And I'm Bulu.
How are we all doing? How was our weekend?
It's been a rainy weekend.
Rainy weekend.
Flooded
And a rainy
weekend as
new
well.
week.
No, it's the blessings of the Salah.
Okay.
Amen to that.
Is the flood part of the blessings?
Yes.
Let's go and Google
You should
flood in Lagos.
Is the warnings of the prophet to everybody in Lagos. People should stop throwing plastics in the drainage.
Okay.
Yes.
Share people will hear.
Yes. So stop throwing plastics, plastic cups, plastic bottles of water.
Your
What-
nylon bags, put in
nylon
your
bags.
pocket, take it home.
But this rain has been on since Thursday.
Yeah.
Since Thursday, and it's been falling every day.
Yep. And several parts of Lagos is flooded. Mega city in the mud.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, we can easily blame people for throwing plastic, but that's just one side of the story. The other side of the story
Is the ocean trying to
poor
reclaim
planning.
back its territory?
is ocean. So now, wait, I must start speaking pidgin. The flood got to where I am, and I can't say I'm close to the ocean.
Very
We're
far.
close to a river.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
It
honestly.
doesn't matter.
Honestly, but I don't know. The government should be doing more to make sure the drainages are effective. We had an environmental sanitation system. There are so many things. Like if anybody wanted to buy Nigeria right now and he sees the things that are going, he would decide not to buy again.
Or he'll find things to beat the price.
Find things to beat the price down so
Yeah.
you can buy it for a giveaway
Exactly.
price.
Or ask you to provide some interesting information,
But in our
like someone that we
defense,
know.
But in our defense, we've been seeing images from UK or flooding from UK.
Yeah, that's not in your defense.
I mean, it's
That's
not that it's not
that's another
creating
person's
depravity.
problem.
Okay,
Because we are saying like it's a mega city, this shouldn't be happening. Like,
I mean,
it's no biggie.
that's not a regular occurrence for them. It's something that happens maybe once in a while when the rains are on a whole different level. Like this one, 3 days rain,
yeah, but then
and Lagos is flooded.
this might actually be something we must start seeing globally.
Yes, we
henceforth.
we
If
could see
something
it.
is not done about it because
But
of
think about it. Yes, you see it globally, but Lagos will just be on. I mean, see, we are lucky because when I was younger, they used to have these 7 days rain when it just rain for 7 days, and I never saw a flood. But just imagine a 7 days rain. I mean, it's just a few days, and
I
everywhere is
think we are
flooded.
heading towards that.
You're heading towards that. So
No, I don't think so. Like this, 7 days is like you're sure that at least for 10 hours every day to rain
it
a
has
minimum.
rained. It has rained today. It rained yesterday. It
for
rains
10 hours at least, like every day for that 1 week.
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
You must have at least 10 hours.
Okay, so but speaking about someone not buying Nigeria, I mean, you surely must have gotten that reference.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted to buy one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, and
You know, pulled out.
he pulled out after stressing the life of the new. Is the new CEO and PT?
Guys, the first time Elon Musk made this public, right? I just pitied the new CEO that what will Parag do? He's under a lot of pressure.
Just few weeks or few days after he became CEO.
Yeah, the whole thing started, and it doesn't even seem like Jack is even against the whole thing. It sounded like
he's actually not, because I've seen tweets where he was saying Elon Musk is visionary, like basically supporting the move to.
Of course.
Right, but it would have been nice if he just showed interest in buying something, right? Elon Musk has caused
didn't have to
a
do
lot
all of
of
this.
disruption in Twitter, right? Raising some issues that they have to battle with. You get making the leadership less.
Yeah.
What's the English? Like they are not
Like
competent.
casting doubts on their competence. and all, like,
Exactly.
so. He raised the issues of bot accounts. Like, it's a big issue. I wanted to know the amount of bots that were there.
but we know it was wash.
Does he really
They
want
actually
to?
provided him with I think most of the information that he needed.
Okay.
They actually provided him with.
So
most
why
of
is he
the-
now saying they are suing him to court now? Because Twitter is saying, Baba, you
Don't buy
price,
market.
you don't
and you-
price, you must,
And now,
you must
because
buy ammo.
After he requested that, they went ahead to provide him with like basic like information that he needed. And then at the end of the day,
Now pulled
he's
out.
still doing.
Like he was acting in bad faith from the first.
But I want to know
I can
how
only
it's actually
imagine.
affected Twitter. Why are they suing? Apart from the fact that he wanted to buy, it's no longer buying.
So after all the ruckus, after all the noise, the way capital markets work, any slight thing in the news affects their stock
Exactly.
prices, their share prices.
Exactly.
So if they hear that Elon Musk is pulling out and it actually goes through, it will look like, oh, Twitter is not this viable company.
Elon Musk saw something. That's why
Elon
it's
Musk-
paying
exactly.
out. It
So-
affects their what's it called? Their
Affects-
valuation.
Yes. So
I just
it's-
hope there's no connection between this and recent layoffs.
in
In
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter has been very, very terrible layoffs, and people are not able to cash out on their stock options.
Right.
That's worse.
That is a very, very terrible thing. I mean, stock options is one of the things that tech companies these days used to woo you in, right? Your money can be, say, $600,000 in compensation.
No,
But-
you've been in the company for how
Yeah.
many years, and now you
Right.
can't even have access to your
Exactly.
stock option.
Say maybe that stock option, out of that 600, say 400 is stock options, 200 is just your salary and bonus. So, but now it's time to cash it. For those that have even vested, like vesting is like
You've used the number of years
that you're
it takes
supposed to
for
use
it
before you
to
can
ripe.
exactly before it ripes.
Gosh,
You can still cash it out. So, but to be fair, Twitter is not the only company that's been affected this period. A lot of
Yeah.
companies have been affected, and so somehow, Binance is just swooping in for the spoils. I don't know how they're doing that. When they're swooping in for this,
Even FTX.
FTX too is also. So some companies in the Web3 space are just
Just
doing
gliding
massive
through.
stuff, right? So
They're even buying companies.
they're buying companies.
Or they have something
Yeah.
in reserve.
Making acquisitions at lower valuations.
Exactly.
I mean, think about it. If it's me, this is the best
I
time
think
to pull out my
it's not
check.
as if they are not feeling what is going on in the market right now. I just feel
I
they
just-
have stuff in the reserve that they are pulling
Exactly.
out.
They were just
And this is
probably
the best.
better prepared.
As somebody, I
Are
think
they
in
better
that
prepared, or
letter,
they just had more money than
that
others?
letter of
Probably.
that Y Combinator sent to
Yeah.
its portfolio founders, right? He told them is a good time for some people,
Yeah.
and
If
these
you have money,
companies, you get the money they have now, they are now buying for less for those that are feeling the heat.
So now, when you consider all that, I'm now wondering, what are governments seeing in the Web3 space that's making them launch? Last week we had Shongo on the blockchain. This week we are seeing things on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So, speaking of governments doing things, so just to clarify, Web3 and CBDCs, we can actually say they are in the same space because of one main
Just
component,
spice it
which
with
is
blockchain.
blockchain. Exactly.
That's all we need.
Yes. So Ghana today has began let's just say Ghana has started the pilot phase for their CBDC that they are calling the
e-cedi,
e-cedis.
like e-naira.
Exactly. Just
easy.
just like the e-naira.
I mean,
And
how they pronounce it? That Ghanaian accent.
In a way, I think I
Go and meet Lasisi
I want-
Ellen to help you.
I want to give it to Congos, to CAR, to CAR for going outside the normal.
yeah,
Because everybody's coming with e something.
Mhm.
Even China, was it China? Their own
yes,
was
their own is ECNY or ENCY.
What's that?
e something.
Yes,
Their
E something.
own-
Their own,
CBDC.
CBDC.
yeah, CBDC.
So you're saying Ghana should have given the
Yes,
a different
Nigerian
name.
a
Like-
name, right?
Mhm.
Like Kofi or Mensa.
Yeah.
Oh, you are being, I don't want to call you
Ima-
racist.
I'll not be there when they are dragging it down. Yeah, so Ghana, just like Nigeria has named its own e-naira, Ghana is also naming its own the e-cedi. But while the names might have a similar prefix now, the way they are going about the launch is quite different. And to be honest, I'll say what Ghana is doing is kind of more, maybe they learned from what Nigeria did wrong. So what they are doing is they actually
what other countries did wrong, not just Nigeria, please.
Okay, so what they are doing is they are testing the pilot phase will be tested in a small village called Sefwi Asafo, located in Western North area.
Western North what?
Western North area in Ghana.
Okay, I thought I heard Western North Korea.
No. Yeah. So the usage actually involves a contactless smart card, which is quite innovative when you think about it. And they're actually using this area because it is one of those areas that have the least amount of internet connection. So when you think about it, it makes sense. So not just open this thing because at the end of the day, the goal of this thing is financial inclusion, making transactions easier, bringing more people into the finance. When we talk about digital finance, bringing more people in, basically. So they took this to one of those places where they barely have those things to test it out and then take notes, see what's wrong, how is it not working well, and they're now bringing contactless smart cards. I don't know if something Nigerians will be familiar with is your carry card that you use on BRT. That's
Lagosians, actually.
Lagosians. That's what we call contactless smart cards. And when you think about it, this is actually a very forward-thinking way. Like, it's really simple. It's not as if you need to get one, be one OG tech person to use this. I mean, using contactless smart card, it's quite simple. That's not to say they don't actually have a mobile app like the e-Naira, but this will actually help in facilitating that, financial inclusion element of, digital currencies. Think about it. You go to the marketplace, you want to use this, and you can just easily pay by, touching, using the card, with.
For one, I think going that route, it sounds nice to me, right? It is not just for the elites or people living in urban areas, right? So when you go and test this in that kind of environment, sounds like you really want to solve a problem from it. You want to solve it among the people that actually have the problem. But I'm curious.
Not just call political points.
Right, or for the gram. So I'm just curious about how it would work, right?
Okay.
Is this still the same format of one e-cedi is equal to one e-cedi? Like,
okay, yeah. So obviously, with what we've seen with central bank digital currencies lately, it's usually the digital currency having the same value as the actual currencies. So this is done by almost the same way stablecoins are done. You need to have a reserve, a cash reserve that can back that currency. So which means it will have the same value. So one CD still be the same as one e-cedi. So I think the question to now ask is not just to Ghana, but to all the countries that are actually launching these things, which is, I think, something that has always been eluding me for a while, which is, how is this actually different from the digital version of these currencies that we already have? Is it just by adding the blockchain element that makes it different?
Looks like it.
Yes, I think that seems like. And if it is just that, I think the only upside to it then will just be free transactions. That's the only upside to it, because the blockchain will help you facilitate those transactions instead of it going through all the amount of people your normal transactions will go through. Going through your MasterCard to your actual banks, they take their own and all those things. So blockchain, eliminates, all these. Yes. So, but then again, aside from transaction fees, what exactly is it? So, one thing I could think about is what everybody launching CBDCs need to be thinking about is the main goal of these things should be cross-border transactions, which unfortunately I don't think a lot of people have been thinking about.
Sure.
Though the what's it called now? There's a framework created, a global framework that actually facilitates transactions from one country to the other.
Mm-hmm.
They spoke about actually creating a uniform framework for CBDCs all over the world. And I think this makes sense. I think it's something every country should start looking into. Nigeria, Ghana, everybody launching CBDCs. How can we make these things, how can I send some money to someone in China like that? Like very fast.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we've really hit this topic, right? So, but I think the main issue here should be if a regulator or anybody close to the African Union, how do we make this thing work? Sending money within African countries.
True.
It's so terrible and terrible. So when you want to employ a global team, for example, you're always thinking of how do you pay these guys. I mean, Techpoint experiences it, many companies experiences it. So those are the main issues. So for now, it doesn't seem like CBDCs are solving anything. Even if you say it's helping financial inclusion, is CBDC the best route to go? Yeah,
is it that there is no other alternative?
Exactly. So anyway, let's put a wrap on that, and this might be a good time to remind you that the Tema Elevate conference is really coming up close, July 23rd, and you come to learn about how to handle communications in a very top-notch manner with the aid of technology for your startup. And we'll be meeting a lot of top people in the communication space, in the growth space, in the marketing space, because let's face it, marketing, growth, customer service, they are all within the spectrum of communication. So yes, that's something the Nigerian government has not been able to communicate with us. How CBDCs are helpful. I don't see the use case. Please communicate it clearly or come to Tema Elevate on July 23rd.
Maybe we should tag them on Twitter.
Yes, we should tag them. They should come and attend the event. Let us know. Okay, but let's not go and put Tema in trouble. I think it's necessary. So just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Now, on another note, Kenya is up to something interesting. I think Kenya is featuring a lot in our podcast these days.
Yeah, Techpoint Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People should credit me. Which one be Techpoint?
Yeah, Emmanuel is doing things.
Okay, so yes, so you see, power is this really painful thing in Africa, and I was watching this Steve Harvey shows, and he was showing a surprise of load shedding in South Africa.
I saw that video too.
You said
it was like, what is load shedding?
They even named it.
They named it.
Like, is that we don't have lights. Power is off.
They will take lights. It's load shedding. Which one is load shedding? They'll just take your light.
So which one do we call the one that happens in Nigeria? Because the load shedding in South Africa is just for a few hours in a day.
Yeah.
But the one that you don't see light for a whole week.
Blackouts.
Oh, blackout. No, it can't be blackout because there's still lights.
Sometimes it can be blackout too.
Sometimes it can be blackout. Yeah. Say the national grid collapses. Yes, but sometimes you will not see light for a whole week, and you know that the light is working. There's nothing wrong with the transformer.
They can give you like 10 minutes.
They'll give you for like 10 minutes.
So that you know that there's nothing wrong.
They just decided not to give you.
Yes. But see, honestly, I like to hear what Kenya is doing with power. I mean, power is relatively stable in Kenya compared to compared to Nigeria. Let me be very spot on with what I'm saying. But they're up to something about unit sharing or something like that. Ogheneruemu has details.
Yeah, so Kenya Power wants to allow users to share power. So you know how you can, you have data. I don't know if they do it in Kenya, but for Nigerians, we do it frequently. So you have data and a friend or family member wants some data, and then you can share with them. So they basically want to do that for electricity units. So when you buy electricity units from Kenya Power, they want you to be able to share with maybe your family, friends, someone that doesn't have electricity. But something else they want to do is, let's say you buy electricity units and you're moving houses. So you basically transfer it. So I assume that the reason they want to do that is that you can't transfer electricity meters. So maybe you just transfer from one house to the other. You leave the meter over here and then go over to the new house. So that's about it. What they want to do, and it's kind of,
that's quite
let's say, funny or interesting.
It's really interesting, and I think we need something like that in Nigeria. But
why?
Because I think what we actually
do we pay
need
bills
is
in Nigeria.
I pay bills.
I pay my bills, please.
Me too.
No, but what I think we will need in Nigeria is, instead of just the units, you should have like your own electricity profile, so that I will not come and take over your debt when I move into your house. So you have like your own profile that you can move into another meter, and then you just change
that
those
makes
profiles.
a lot of sense.
So if it's that you are owing, your debt will follow you to wherever you are going, so that another tenant will not come to your house and
come and inherit
So
your
and
bill.
also for the transferring of tokens too. Maybe you are living, or maybe you are traveling out of the country, you want to jackpot. Can send it to your family member, say, I still have 500 units.
Use it for me.
So I think something like that in Nigeria will not be.
So something
will
like a
make
SIM
sense.
card for
Exactly.
Because
Anywhere
I
you
think
go,
I was
because-
asking, was it a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, why do I have to plug in the meter to actually check how many units? So why is there no app for that? Why can't I just check my app and see
or even USSD.
how many, or USSD to check how many units I have left? Why do I have to? Or so what happens if I don't have light for a long time and I need to confirm that, okay, there's light, or I still have some electricity units left? So I don't know why, but apparently what they are trying to do, they've already given the go ahead to a company that is developing the application. So I don't know if it's going to be similar to what I have in my head, where you can check for a lot of things on the app in addition to sharing. But to be interesting, maybe we can find a few Kenyans and ask them how it works, because Kenya Power is like one of the largest electricity distributors in the country, so it might be easy to find one or two people who are using it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, the idea of a SIM card and a profile, I mean, that idea of inheriting hundreds of thousands,
it makes zero
buy market
sense.
that you know nothing of.
Makes zero sense.
because when you now ask, they say, oh, it's the last tenant. I'm pretty sure that last tenant inherited
Someone's
Now, or the nonsense that the developer of the building did, if it was a new building.
yes, new buildings. Just yes. Nifem is throwing shade at building that currently.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. So Chingozo, you are the one that offended the rain. Oh. You said it hasn't rained for 7 days.
Yeah, I've seen it though.
This flood is going to have different dimensions this period. I mean, if you're outside, please try to stay safe and
very important.
And
Don't
when
step
you're
into
when you're walking,
water.
exactly, because one funny thing I noticed since all this flood issue is you come to realize that everywhere is flooded. You won't know the difference between gutter.
Like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Terrible hole on the
I
ground.
remember when we coming, like we were coming back from the office one day, and you asked me why I decided not to step somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It was not as if it was flooded, but I knew everywhere is like you might just step somewhere and
You're gone.
your leg will just
You
enter
just
all the way to
fall.
your thighs.
And there might be objects that
Exactly.
you don't
I
want
could
to
enjoy
step on.
you or something. Like already I was seeing videos yesterday and some people were insinuating that a few people lost their lives
Wow.
to that rain. So I just hope it's not. I hope it's not.
Crazy.
It's not a lot of people that are losing their lives because.
It's really crazy.
all right. It's I don't know. Let's. If you're listening to this episode, we sincerely apologize for the sound of the rain. We are not in our studio. We are at home. Nobody came to give us ram meat, but we decided to just take the studio home with us, sort of. The rain has been it's been funny. Seriously, they promised us that what is that thing that used to block out sound from rain again? I thought this house had it too. But it's fine. Please,
we apologize.
Yeah.
We are sorry.
Enjoy the shower with us.
Yeah. And if you are out there and you want to bless our lives with a new sparkling new apartment, you can just reach me.
Why?
ERUWLSE@gmail.com.
Oh, you don't have to use your official email, Abby. Why you?
Nice one.
No. You can still send it to Emmanuel at Techpoint Africa. Please don't send it to my personal email. Hey, Joe, please send it to my Yeah, it's been a nice one, and I hope you enjoyed the episodes. All the stories from Elon Musk to Ghana and CBDC. Then, of course, Kenya Power and unit sharing proposal, which I think is actually a very nice idea, even though there might be loopholes if that customer profile is not handled properly. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And let us know what you think. And you can tweet at us with the hashtag Techpoint Africa Podcast, or send an email to podcast@techpoint.africa. And if you're listening to us for the first time, or you've been listening to us and you've not been sharing, which is a very, very bad habit, please
do better.
Do better, please. So, but where can you find this podcast?
Well, you can find us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Hi-Hat Radio, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.